Did you know that 80% of unemployed Kenyans are below 35 years old? Did you also know that this figure is as high as 35% compared to the national overall unemployment rate of 10%? On today's episode of Original Shots, we're going to be discussing the unemployment issue in Kenya that is growing rapidly and steadily. We'll be talking to private sector individuals, just like my guest today on the couch, who is trying his level best to minimize this gap. Welcome, Arnold Murunga.
Thank you.
Please tell us about what you do and how your company is helping to minimize unemployment among the youth.
Thank you so much. Our company is called Africa Rising Careers. Mm-hmm. We are people who have seen a need in the market, and we are trying to help the young people find the best way to fit into the employment. As it is in Kenya, many people are unemployed not because they lack the skills or they lack the education, but because they don't know what the employer needs. What we do is get the information from seasoned professionals to the youth in high schools, in universities, and young professionals from 30 years and below who are trying to figure out their way around the market. We use seasoned professionals because they have the information about how they rose through the ranks, mm-hmm. what kind of education they need over and above the undergraduate degrees, and how to maneuver in the market, how to read market trends in order to be at the top of the market. That's what we do.
When you began Africa Rising Careers, were you geared specifically to people that have gone to school or just for anyone who you think is skilled in a particular area?
Not particularly only people who have gone to universities or colleges, mm-hmm. but also every other career. Because as we note in Kenya, most of the careers are formal. The non-formal sector employs most of the people, but at low cadre jobs. They don't get the kind of salaries that the employed people get in the formal sector. So what we are trying to do is get the informal sector also to have more money, and by that, a few people, for example, in the music industry, in acting, in sports, have made it. The likes of Wanyama, mm-hmm. the likes of Jalango, and some few people in the music industry. The majority of the people have not made it. So we get these people to come in and tell the young people who are trying to emulate them and to occupy those positions in future, how they can get there.
When you speak of young people, who exactly are you targeting with this initiative?
So from as low as high school, because that is where people are starting to shape their ideas and their notions of what they want to do in future and which career they would like to pursue. It's also in high school that people choose the kind of subjects that they will do and specialize later on in university. So people who are from 13 years old all the way to 30 years old. 13-year-olds will be Form 1 student, and then people from 17 to 25 in universities, and people from 23 years to 30 years old in the job market.
So it's basically like a training session or a workshop, a seminar. Is it one-on-one? How exactly does it work?
So majority of it is supposed to be in a workshop kind of setup where we get youth. It could be a school, it could be a university, it could be an open invitation to anybody within that age bracket, 13 to 30 years old. Come into a hall where we've invited a professional or several professionals depending on the kind of topic we want to tackle. And these professionals or professional will now take us through the topics. This is more of a question and answer session where the young people will ask, because there are many preconceived notions and ideas about the market and how employment works. In the employment can be self or formal, or it can be blue collar, like people who are musicians or otherwise. So just come in, ask the questions, and then you get the answers. Additionally, being in the online, the content can also be online, where it is filmed so that people can go back to it later, or people who did not make it to the workshop can view it later on. Yeah. So those are the two ways in which we hope to achieve it.
How do you intend to market or make people aware of this, of your project?
Yeah. So we have a tag. We are calling it Mentor Me. So it is perceived that the youth are looking for mentorship. Some of them are disillusioned with the way the market is going because they do not understand it. They have preconceived ideas from movies and other stories that they hear, but what is happening on the ground is different. So we are asking these professionals to mentor the youth, tell them that even though you're seeing the situation that you're in now seems very dire and there's no hope for you in the future. Many people are quitting, starting business. Many people are quitting and starting other careers or going back to school. These professionals are here to tell people, just persevere, please. Whatever you're going through now, we went through it in the past, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. It gets better, it gets easier, it is nicer once you persevere.
Just to piggyback on what you've just said,
yes.
I wanted to bring in that disillusionment into the problem of unemployment. Do you think that that's also a cause of unemployment? People not really knowing what they want to do, or they choose something and then, as the youth say, wakifika kwa ground vitu ni different.
Yeah, that's right. And we've seen also people, mainly the youth, getting depressed, and the cases of depression in the country are at an alarming rate.
Yes.
Because of the disillusionment. Yes, it plays a part because people are not really sure of what they want, because in high school and university there is the taking of notes or reading and then writing an exam. In the job market it's very different, and in the job market mostly you'd find, apart from the job description that you got when you're applying for a job, there's much more you have to do. There has to be personal relationship, not only with your colleagues, but with your clients. There has to be aggressive marketing if you're in a profit-making venture. If you are in a non-profit-making venture, you have to have that human factor with you to be able to connect with the people you're helping. So those are the things which an exam is not in place for, but there are things that you acquire as you go on in a career. So once the young people know that it takes time, not everything that you are taught in university applies in the job market. So just persevere, learn from the seasoned professionals, and you'll get there.
When you say that, you'll be inviting these professionals to come and talk to them, let's say for instance, if it's on a one-on-one basis, does this session also provide for maybe counseling, trying to understand someone's personality so that you can advise them which careers they are better suited for? How does it work, or you're still formulating? Just asking.
Well, I get your point. It's a very good way of looking at things, because there are some people who like a career or a profession based on what they see in other people and not what actually happens. So when they get there, they are shocked and they're like, I didn't know that, for example, being a doctor, that it's not only prescribing medication, but at sometimes you have also to advise people. And when somebody says, I'm not a people person and yet you're a doctor, it's a contact career where every day you have to meet people. So you have to guide people in that kind of way. So it's, yes, that's a component of what we do to help the career professional and the youth, whether in high school, university, or a young professional, to better understand themselves and better understand what the job market entails of them to do as a professional, so that they can better deliver their services to the people.
How will you know that you've succeeded?
Our success is pegged on the impact that the youth say we have given to them. So basically that is their feedback. Because in our online platforms, we have a comment section where people can give us their views, and the questions that we address also come from these comment sections. People can write in to us either on email or in PO box. Also, some come in after their first interaction with us. They come in for sessions thereafter, and they continue to tell us whether they have been helped, or if the help has gotten them somewhere and they need additional help, how can we continue to help them moving forward?
Who have you partnered with, or who are you keen on partnering with to continue with this project?
We are keen on partnering with two sets of people. One is people who can provide career professionals, and the other set is the students in high school campus, university campuses, and young professionals. So I'll start with the professionals. The professionals, we are partnering with institutes such as the Kenya Institute of Management, which provides managers and career people who are their members. There are many people out there who have a need. They've seen the need of helping people, but they don't have the platform to do that. They do that in their homes, to their children, to their brothers, their sisters, their nephews and nieces, but they would like to do it at a wider scope. So those are the kind of people we're partnering with. Other people in the career one is also professional bodies. For example, there is the Institute of Engineers of Kenya, there is the Institute of Chartered Public Accountants of Kenya. So career bodies, under them they have got members. Also lawyers have their own association, musicians the same to sports people. So those are the kinds of people, that's where we get our professionals.
The professionals.
Students is easy from schools and universities.
Are these services free or paid for?
It's not paid for. The students getting it from us for free. What we are doing is providing a service that is very essential to people. It's not a service that we wish to gain from, but for the students to gain from. The career professionals, there are many out there who have a lot of advice that they would like to give, but they only have very few people to give it to, their families and close friends. There are many places around the country where some professionals are not in a high number. In the villages, in the slums, in our small towns, that these people, through our help, would be able to connect with these students, with these young professionals. So we hope that from their good heart, because they have already been helping, they would extend that help to the youth that we have mentored.
Through their good hearts. So
Well,
what happens when you get someone who wants to be paid?
Of course, once in a while we come across such, and from the funding that we get from our able donors, then once in a while, very few of them, but once in a while we come across them, then we have to facilitate, because this kind of knowledge they are giving is very pertinent, and we do not have a choice. But it happens very rarely.
From what I'm understanding, this is an altruistic venture for you. So you're just doing it to help your community. What inspired you to do this?
The inspiration came from my own experience in the job market and my colleagues' experience also. We had to figure out how the market's going, because every 10 years or so, the trends keep changing. And the trends that our parents followed are not the same that we follow, are not the same that the youth who are coming after us are following. So those kinds of trends can only be understood by the professionals who we are calling the mentors. And without the mentors, if you don't have sufficient advice from mentors, then you find yourself just wallowing and following trends that may or may not lead you somewhere. But with this kind of mentorship, then we know where we are going.
That was fantastic advice. I'll leave his details on our website, on our YouTube page, and you can go and contact him if you need more details. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Betty Ngaria. Have a fantastic day. Bye.